All right, guys, I wanted to make a video. I'm super excited about this new product I just got in. It is the new microphone system from Sennheiser, the EW-DX MKE2. So this is the R1-9, and this is the box with all the things that it comes with. But I've taken everything out for the most part that I want to look at today. And I'm going to go through it with you, and then we're going to jump outside and we're going to test the range on this. So I've used Sennheiser mics almost from the beginning of when I started doing weddings. And when it comes to ceremonies, they always sound great. The reception is good. Very little issues with dropouts, if any. I can only remember maybe one time that I had an issue. But other than that, I swear by these things. So when you open up the box, you're going to get your receiver, and we'll get this plugged in outside and go through some of the settings. But you have your headphone jack if you want to plug a set of headphones in, volume control, on, off, and then here you can control, this is the big thing, 2 different mic inputs here. So I can use my handheld mic if there's anybody doing a reading or a windy day and we need to go with the handheld. And it also comes with the clip-on lapel mic and pack for that. So the big reason that I ordered these things is because the Sennheisers that I used before, I would have to use 2 receiver boxes, right? So I would have to find power for 2 different ones. Now with the new EV speaker that I use for ceremonies, I could plug one in and power that. But if we had a need for a second microphone, I would have to bring an extra battery pack or something like that to power that. So now I can clip one on the Efficient, I can have a handheld for the readings or anything else that may come up, and use just one box on top of the speaker. So my ceremony setup has slimmed down tremendously just in the past year. So having 2 mic inputs or outputs into the speaker, absolutely incredible. So you get the handheld mic, which these always sound crisp, clear, and I'm excited to take it outside and give it a test and see what kind of range. I believe that the specs say 328 feet. That's unobstructed. I can't imagine too many scenarios where you're going to be that far away, but we'll test it out and see. Then you get your lapel mic with the receiver here, or the transmitter, and these are super easy to set up. You just hit the sync button. This auto tunes. It automatically looks for signals, and then we'll go to the best ones for channels 1 and 2. You sync them up, and you're good to go. One of the other great things with this is that they come with rechargeable batteries, which is huge. I do about 70 weddings a year, 70 to 100, and I can't tell you how many batteries I've ordered from Amazon. I should go back and check my orders just to see how many batteries that I've gone through. So that's great. I don't have to order batteries for these anymore. I bring them home, I charge them up, good to go. We get our thing to put on our mic stand to slide our mic into. So I may end up bringing these inside after ceremonies also and setting them up for the reception, but probably we'll just stick with the Sennheisers I have at the moment. These are somewhat pricey, I would say. I don't know really what other microphone systems charge. I haven't really checked Shure and those things because I've always been kind of a Sennheiser guy. But I believe at the time that we're making this video, these are somewhere between $2,300 and $2,500. So yeah, kind of pricey, but definitely worth it. And here's the power pack. Now, the one thing that I didn't get that I was a little bit upset about is you would think if you're going to spend over $2,000 on a set of microphones, you would have something, and they come with rechargeable batteries, that Sennheiser would send you something to charge the batteries, right? But they didn't. So that's an additional $60 or $50, $60 that I had to pay and have this shipped to me separately, which is the battery charger. Now, the batteries were probably half charged or a quarter charged when I got them. They took a couple hours to charge up, so I imagine if they're completely dead, it might, take a few hours, so you don't want to let that happen if you're going into a ceremony. But you charge them overnight, you're going to be good to go. Again, I haven't used them yet. This coming weekend will be the first time that I use them. So this will be the test of how they work out in the wild, but also kind of how the battery life is. I'll be able to come back and report on that. They were kind of hard to get. The first video I saw with these was months and months ago, and I believe I ordered them probably back in March, and it's now August 2nd, 2023, and we just got them this past week. So it was a long time coming, but I'm excited to test them out. So let's hook up the speaker, take them outside, and see what we got. All right, guys, so we moved outside. We're going to set this thing up. So I've got my eVerse 8 speaker. This is what I've been using this year for all my ceremonies. Fully battery powered, and it can power one microphone system, which was one of the big reasons that I wanted to get one that I could have two mics hooked into. All right, so we're going to take input 1, put it into mic 1, input 2, and put that into mic number 2. Then here's our power cable, which I'll leave a link below, because the one that comes with this speaker I have not had luck with, but this Amazon one is the one that fits. So we power it on, the speaker fires up, and our microphone fires up. Right now it's telling me no link, which means I don't have my microphones linked up. But first, what I want to do, and what you should do every time you get to a venue, is scan. So we're going to go to Scan Auto Setup, Scan Network, Channel 1, and now it's scanning for the best channels so we don't get any interference. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hit Set, and we're good to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pair up our handheld microphone. Okay, so make sure your mics are off when you're doing this first step. And I'm going to hit sync. I'm going to hit sync on the bottom here. And we're all synced up. Okay. And then for our test, we've got to get our transmitter for our lapel mic set up. So let's turn that on. Make sure it's muted. And we're going to hit sync. We're going to hit sync. And we're all synced up here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk off into the sunset, and we are going to test our levels, and we're going to test the range that this can go. So if you were picking this up, but I'm about 90 feet away, 30 paces, and sounding pretty crisp, sounding pretty clear. So we're going to keep walking. I would say this is probably the furthest I ever am from ceremony. I mean, occasionally I'll be a little bit further, but this is what I would call average distance. Check, check, check. Mic check 1, 2. All right, guys, I'm another 30 paces away, so we're at about 180 feet. I can't imagine I would ever be this far from a bride and groom when they're getting married, but reception is perfect, crisp, clear. Couldn't ask for anything more. We're going to keep walking into the neighbor's yard and see what happens. So another 30 paces. We're at about 270 feet. I have things in my way. I've got trees, I've got bushes, and we're still sounding crisp and clear. Neighbors are starting to walk out on their porch, wondering what they're doing in their yard, and B, why is he talking into a microphone all day in other people's backyards? So we're going to keep going. We're at 270. Let's take another 30 paces and see where we get. We are currently 360 feet away. Not sure if you could see me, but I can still hear myself. I'm getting a thumbs up from the camera woman, coming in crisp and clear. I'm going to test the lapel mic out, see how that is. But we're at 360. There's really not much further I can go. I'll go out onto the road, see what happens. But let me test out the lapel quick. I just took another 30 paces. Literally took me to the edge of the road. So we're looking at about 450 feet. I'm getting a thumbs up. There's no way I would ever be this far from the receiver. But this is amazing. Sennheiser does it again. So, all right, guys. So that's a wrap on our microphone check. Again, this is the Sennheiser EW-DX MKE 2. So, I mean, I was out there, I don't know, I took probably 400 feet, I would say, from our receiver with the handheld mic and the lapel. I had some bushes in the way, I had trees, it was over kind of a hill, and I could still hear myself all the way on the road out there. So I'm convinced these are the best or one of the best mics that you could possibly use. So whether you're going to use them for wedding ceremonies, inside at the receptions, corporate events, any other thing that you could possibly think of, Sennheiser did a great job putting this together. Again, my only complaint with this whole thing is Sennheiser, for over $2,000, throw in a $60 charger for those batteries. All right? Your customers will appreciate it. But that's it. If you like these types of videos and want to see me do more reviews on other gear that I have, hit that thumbs up, make sure and subscribe, and we'll make one real soon. Thanks.